Howdy everybody out there. I am TJ. I will be your host here at GoFigureNews.com for another review. Now, this is November, and of course, November is the month of thankfulness. Well, I think after the election results, some people are feeling a little this, some people are feeling a little bit of that, but to keep things positive and light, we are going to be giving something away at the very end of this video, so please stay tuned. This is a look at the figures from Tim Burton's masterpiece, The Nightmare Before Christmas. So of course, because this is somewhere between Halloween and Christmas, right in this sort of elusive holiday time, we have the latest from Diamond Select Toys. I am excited to present the new version of the Coffin Dolls. Now, these here are exciting because there are several different varieties. As you can see, the box comes in this wonderful sort of coffin shape with the window right here, which depicts the figure inside. In this case, we have Jack. You've got a foil gold stamp of his name on the front. There is a texture to the box. All of these figures that we're going to take a look at all come in this same style box, which reads on the side, the Disney Tim Burton and the title of the film. And the back has an image of Jack Skellington in this case, and each one depicts a cartoon version of the character that's inside. Now, these figures are all the scale between 16 and 17 inches tall, depending. So we're going to start off with this figure right here, and there are only two in the series that come with an additional accessory, and this is one of them. He is Pajama Jack. So of course he comes in the pajama. This is sort of like the classic style that you might remember from the film. There is all sorts of articulation here. Each of these also comes with a stand, like so. It comes in two parts. You just put the top part into the circular base, as so, and they easily just go right onto the base. And also one thing to note is I believe there is an adjustment here that can make the base go up higher or lower depending, and it just gets propped right inside. Now you can of course take this figure and you can prop it however you would like. The stand is very, very useful if you are going to put these figures, a flat pedestal, or if you're going to put it on a shelf and line them up. So here we have joints at the elbow, at the shoulder, at the wrist. The hands turn very easily. And these skeletal fingers each have a nub where your digits would also be moving, and they're made of sort of like a rubbery-ish material because they move really in an interesting way. I love the style here. The feet have these little tiny black boots, like so, and the head articulates 360 actually. The figure has fabric clothing. They all come with a fabric clothing, which is really, really nice, and it gives you the flavor that you actually have almost like the original marionette right there in your hands. So, and you would think that this would be particularly almost the real scale of the figures that were filmed to make the fantastic animation. Here he goes. He's got some pleats here in the sleeves and also down here at the ankles, and it's bunched in here. And then the top piece is just a long sort of beige type pajama. There are two buttons at the top. They do not move. There's no button action. They're just adornments on the pajama top. We love the sort of the darkened eyes and the type of skull, the way that the skeleton is done. It looks as though it would be glow in the dark, but I don't believe he is glow in the dark. His extra accessory that he comes with is a book, and it is the science method. So it's done really nicely. It actually feels like a real book. There are pages in the sculpt here. Speaking of sculpts, his mouth is sculpted in, but it's not painted. It's just sort of his classic line with some slashes through. Now I'm going to read you a little bit of passage from this book here. It reads, "In make-believe world, where every land is dedicated to creating a particular holiday, you'll find places hopping with Easter bunnies, a Valentine village decorated with hearts and flowers, and on 4th of July, a bird sizzling with spirit. But nowhere will you find citizens more delightfully dedicated to their work than the ghoulish folks of Halloween Town." So that's classic Jack. For this figure, and several of the others that we're going to look at, they all come in 1,993. So they're quite a limited edition when you think about this as being something available worldwide. Now there's also a Hot Topic Jack. Now this is the exclusive version of the Coffin Doll Jack. On the front, the name is embossed, but here, instead of gold, it's done in a silver foil. And the coffin itself is purple rather than black. Now, this comes in an edition of 6,500, as you can see on the card. And here he is in his pinstripe black velvet suit with the super tattered tails here. Check that out. Look at that. Beautiful. It's a thin fabric. It feels almost like a little bit like felt, and he's super slender, and comes down to his little black shoes, very similar to the last one that you looked at. And basically the build, the sculpt is all identical except for a couple of things. Of course, the costumery. But the head sculpt, of course, is the big difference. If you look at his expression, you've got a sort of almost a grimacing Jack Skellington. His mouth is much, much bigger. It goes almost the way to where his ears might be. And the dark circles for the poles of emptiness for his eye sockets. I love the figure. I think it's super cool. Two other things to point out for sure are that, they twist at the hip. This chest portion, it has like a fabric almost feel to the chest. So that's different than the other, which is basically made of a similar material to what the head sculpt is made of, sort of a vinyl plastic. But here we have the coup d'etat of style. You've got his bat tie. If you remember from the film, it actually had some movement because it was a live bat, I believe. Now, this is done really nice. It adds so much pizzazz to his overall outfit. Now, one thing to mention is the arms at the elbow do pop off, but it's easy to pop them back in. So I'm going to give you an example. The skeleton here, it has like a little bit of a hook at the arm here, and here's where it meets at the elbow, and you just pop it right in, boom, and then there you go. You've got all the skeletal action that you could want. And that's actually a good feature because it allows you that if you move it too much, it's not going to break. You're just going to have to pop it back into place when you're setting up your diorama or what have you. So Jack can be a happy skeletal boy. Voila. I'm going to show you Sally. Now, this is a heavy-duty figure. There's so much more weight to this than there is to Jack. Now you have Jack, who's at 17 inches, and Sally at 16. Now, one thing I want to point out about Sally is that she comes in these super cool heels. Now, she will not stand on her own. It's just not that style figure, so it will require the stand. But you can have her sit down, and her hands and legs and body come in this sort of like rubbery material. So it's different than your typical action figure, like hard plastic. It's different from an action figure that would have 25,000 points of articulation. Here, the arms don't articulate, the hands don't articulate, but the head does. You can move the head back and forth, and it's a little bit tight because the hair, as you can see, is made of this long kind of rubber material in this beautiful kind of soft mid-tone purple color. She's got all the classic scarage. Of course, she was a creation of Dr. Finkelstein, who also is in this series. You have to keep an eye out for that. And she's got the classic outfit here. Now, I'm going to keep her here for a second. Now, this is the traditional regular version, or what they might call the unlimited version. They also put out a version of Jack and Sally together as a set. So you'll have to go to Diamond Select Toys website to get more information. Now, Sally also comes in a Hot Topic version. Now, it's exactly the same except for the facial sculpt. Now, check out the facial sculpt here. Now, I want you to see these side by side so you can see the exact difference. One is, how do you want to say? She's happy and she's kind of miserable. Now, you can see it in the eyes, you can see it in the lips, but the rest of the body is pretty much exactly the same. The dress is exactly the same. There's a slight difference in the way that it's cut. It's just because it's from piece to piece, and the back is identical as well. But I did want to let you know that there is a Hot Topic version which comes in the purple coffin with the silver imprint on the front. This one is also the edition of 6,500, which is similar to the Jack that I showed you. I absolutely adore Sally. She is my favorite figure and my favorite character from the film, except for the mayor. And they also have the mayor out in this same series. We don't have it to show you, so you're going to have to go to the site and take a look. These all run for $49.99, and the sets of two, which are numbered with Sally and Jack, are $99.99. So that's your price point. Lastly, but definitely not leastly, I am completely beside myself because this is Halloween Town, ladies and gentlemen. Halloween Town. Check out this accessory that comes with Pumpkin Jack. Now, here he is. Unbelievable. Check it out. He's so tall he doesn't fit in the scope here, but he comes with these spindly legs and the fabric costume, which is sort of a typical like corn modeling after like corn stalks for a scarecrow. This is really cool. And check out these sleeves here, these tattered sleeves, making it look like he's been out in the field for a long time. His hands are also sort of almost, Groot came next, right? But Pumpkin Jack was here first. Here is the Pumpkin King. He comes with this, of course. Now, when you put him in the stand, you can have him hold this, probably with some degree of trickiness, but you can also, come up with your own exciting way. Go to one of your local craft stores, get a little foam ball, color it, and stick that in, make it look like it's a gravestone or looks like, a little moss bush or something. His head turns all the way around 360, and the sculpt on the head is phenomenal. I love the head sculpt here. He is so character perfect. His shirt does this really cool twisty thing on the back. So check that out. It's like a la almost couture. You know, I bet some fashion houses probably took some creative license on building their own versions of things like this. And then the front only has these two simple X embroideries to hold the shirt together. Now, the pants are held together by little strings at the knees and around the ankles, and one up here on the upper leg. And his hands move 360, and they're made of kind of like a little bit of a rubbery material. It's super cool. I love Pumpkin King Jack. Thanks to our good friends at Diamond Select Toys who brought us these 16-inch collectible coffin dolls. We are thrilled to be able to give away Pumpkin King Jack. So one of you out there is going to add him to your collection, and let me tell you, he is super cool. I love the modeling of the head sculpt and the costumery, and you are going to be so excited to bring that little tiny coffin to give it to potentially one of your kids. We say collect them all because it's almost irresistible not to after you see one of them. And you can align one of your shelves with stands or create a fantastic diorama of your choosing. So we are being thankful this holiday season and extending something pretty special to you. Now remember, these figures range about $49.99 each if you were to purchase them at the retail price. So it's a very nice prize to take home. So all we ask is that you remember to subscribe to our channel here and to like our Facebook page as well. So keep that in mind for this contest. We also recommend to visit Diamond Select Toys website so that you can learn more about these and other great figures that they are making. They make some fantastic action figures, particularly in the world of retro figures. We love when they create costumery that goes on a figure, just gives it that extra zing, that extra textural feel. We love the expressions, we love our fans, and we are, at the end of the day, thankful to be here to be able to present this to you. So this is TJ from Go Figure News. Remember again to subscribe and like, and we will see you again here soon. Over and out!